Welcome to the Immigrantinlaw channel. Moving to Europe isn't just about buying a ticket, packing a suitcase, and hoping you'll figure things out once you get there. For many, it marks a new chapter in life. A different legal system, a different job market, different document requirements, a different pace of life, and even a different approach to everyday matters. But precisely because moving seems straightforward at first glance, people often make mistakes that cost them time, money, stress, and sometimes even their right to legally reside in the country. Today we'll break down the 7 biggest mistakes when moving to Europe. These are the situations that immigration specialists encounter regularly. Watch the video until the end. Perhaps one of these mistakes is exactly the one you can avoid in advance. Very often people say, "I like Italy. I've always dreamed of living in Spain. Salaries are good in Germany. It's warm in Portugal." All of this is important, but emotions alone aren't enough for a move. You shouldn't choose a country based solely on the climate, pretty pictures, or friends' reviews. You need to consider your actual reasons for moving: work, business, education, financial independence, family circumstances, the demand for your profession, language proficiency, budget, and long-term goals. For example, one country might be wonderful for vacationing but difficult for finding employment. Another might offer good opportunities for professionals but have strict document requirements. A third might seem affordable but turn out to be expensive in everyday life. The right path doesn't start with the question, which country is more beautiful, but with the question, in which country do I have a real chance to legally settle and grow? One of the most common problems is treating documents with the attitude, "The main thing is to submit them, and we'll see what happens." That's not how immigration processes work. For European authorities, it's not just about having the documents, but also about having them properly prepared. Translations, apostilles, validity periods, proof of income, certificates, statements, contracts, insurance, and grounds for residence. Sometimes a single incorrectly prepared document can lead to a rejection or a serious delay. Many people start gathering documents too late. Then it turns out that a diploma needs to be certified, a certificate takes several weeks to arrive, the bank doesn't issue the required statement right away, and the translator is swamped. It's important to understand, documents aren't just a formality, they're the foundation of your immigration case. The sooner you check the list of requirements, the smoother the process will be. Even if you have a job, an invitation, a business plan, or remote income, a financial cushion is essential. The first few months in a new country almost always cost more than you expect. Rent, a security deposit, insurance, transportation, paperwork, communication, furniture, household purchases, food, and potential services from translators or lawyers. All of this adds up to a significant amount. In addition, unexpected expenses may arise. Delays in receiving a residence card, the need for temporary housing, additional certificates, or medical services. A common mistake is to base your budget solely on the lowest figures found online, but real life rarely fits into a perfect plan. Before moving, it's important to ask yourself honestly, can I get by for a few months if my income starts later than planned? If the answer is no, it's better to reconsider the timing, the country, or the way you're moving. Many people think, I'll move and I'll learn the language once I'm there. Sometimes this works, but it often creates a lot of problems. Yes, in major European cities, you can meet people who speak English, but life isn't just about coffee shops and tourist areas. You'll need to communicate with landlords, doctors, government officials, employers, banks, schools, and insurance companies. Without the language, you become dependent on intermediaries, acquaintances, or random online translations. This reduces your independence and increases the risk of mistakes. You don't have to speak perfectly right away, but having a basic level of proficiency before moving is a huge advantage. It helps you adapt faster, feel more confident in interviews, understand documents better, and feel less stressed in everyday situations. Language is not just a communication tool, it is the key to a normal life in a new country. Moving to Europe involves not only rights but also responsibilities. One of the most serious mistakes is failing to study tax rules in advance. Many people continue to work remotely, receive income from different countries, start businesses, or keep old bank accounts without understanding where and how they should report their income. As a result, they may face issues with tax authorities, banks, or immigration services. You need to consider tax residency, length of stay, sources of income, reporting requirements, social security contributions, and business regulations. It is especially important to understand these matters before moving if you are a freelancer, entrepreneur, investor, or work for a foreign company. Tax mistakes can be costly. That's why it's best to seek advice in advance and understand not only how to enter the country, but also how to live there legally going forward. Housing in Europe is one of the most challenging issues for new residents. In many cities, there is high demand, strict requirements for tenants, and fierce competition. Landlords may require an employment contract, proof of income, bank statements, references, and a security deposit covering several months' rent. Sometimes, it's difficult for someone without a local history of residence or employment to find good housing right away. A mistake is thinking that you can easily find an apartment within a couple of days of arrival. In reality, the search can take weeks, and temporary housing during this period will be expensive. It's better to research neighborhoods, average prices, rental requirements, lease terms, and possible temporary housing options in advance. It's also important not to send money to strangers without verifying their documents and terms. There are scammers in the rental market, especially when people are in a hurry and unfamiliar with local rules. Good housing isn't just about comfort, it's also an address you'll need for registration, obtaining documents, opening a bank account, and handling other important matters. Many people focus on the first stage, getting a visa, entering the country, and processing documents. But the real move begins after that. You need to understand how you will renew your status, what conditions you must meet, whether you can bring your family, when you will be eligible for permanent residency, and what the requirements are regarding income, insurance, address, language, and integration. If you don't plan ahead, you may find yourself in a situation where you've obtained your first document but struggle to renew it. For example, your income doesn't meet the requirements, your business isn't working out, your studies have ended, you've lost your job, and you have no backup plan. Moving should not be a one-time action but a strategy. It is important to understand in advance not only the first step, but also the following ones: legalization, adaptation, work, taxes, family, and long-term status. This is precisely why professional immigration consultation often helps not just to submit documents, but to choose the most sustainable path. So, let's review the 7 main mistakes when moving to Europe. First, choosing a country based solely on emotions. Second, underestimating document requirements. Third, moving without a financial cushion. Fourth, ignoring the language. Fifth, not understanding taxes and obligations. Sixth, looking for housing too late. Seventh, thinking only about entry, not about life after the move. Moving to Europe can be an excellent decision if you approach it calmly, competently, and in advance. Don't act on a whim. Rely solely on advice from forums, or follow someone else's path without analyzing your own situation. Everyone has different goals, documents, professions, incomes, families, and plans. Therefore, there is no one-size-fits-all solution, but there is proper preparation that reduces risks and helps you move forward with confidence. If you are planning to move to Europe and want to understand which country and which legalization route is right for you, submit a request for a free consultation with Immigrantinlaw's lawyers. We'll develop the optimal relocation strategy for you, prepare all the necessary documents, explain the nuances of the law in detail, and answer all your questions. We'll analyze your case, your goals, and your situation without using templates. Want to learn more or start the process today? Contact us. All contact details are listed in the description below this video. We're here to help you take a confident step toward a new life. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ask your questions in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them. Discover a world of possibilities with Immigrantinlaw.